You can always add more to a painting, but you need to
Me versus me.
realize that the painting's already been
Really
done.
weird.
Like, at what day and moment
Doesn't have to be that
was
far.
I was just like, I'm not doing this anymore.
right.
I wish I could go back and kick that son of a bitch in the dick.
I mean, we could
Whatever
just
somebody's
record
going
ourselves
through, like,
talking about a bunch of
even,
shit,
like,
so you could do an intro.
Even the
for
little
it.
things are things that like progressively
Like
get
Gary
bigger. Like,
Sinise, all mouth, no
There's-
legs.
there's ways around it. There's ways to like
Call it
go
giving her
through
the
it.
Lieutenant Dan.
There really is.
Everything has a consequence. Everything changes with every decision that you make.
This is me versus me. The more I hear, the more I'm like, yes, bitch. Yes, bitch.
Yas, queen.
Yes, queen. All right. Well, no, I just wanted to light it up. I mean, you're telling some pretty fucking awesome stories for starters.
I've got a
And I'm like,
shit ton of
why? We're sitting here drinking, literally with the headphones. I'm like, I'm gonna fire it up because
Yeah, I
why
don't
the
give a
fuck
shit.
not? And
Might
then,
as well.
and I want to give.
I'm not asking any of these people for their permission either. I'm just gonna tell stories about dumb shit. I feel like I should probably change some names around.
I'm not popular enough yet.
I
but-
just meant if those people ever saw it, they'd be like, "That's a story about me."
Oh yeah.
So maybe I'd have to change the names up, so I'm not like outing people I grew up with.
I wanted to give the listeners. I'm sorry, I'm going over just making sure all the setup's still.
A short little sneak peek into the bullshit that will ensue when we end up on camera together. Naturally.
Yeah. So,
Preferably with a third person who understands references,
there
other than pork belly.
there might be a third or a fourth,
Yeah.
but the new face to a new scene, the new podcast. We get to know you a little bit on here, and
Definitely questionable.
definitely. Are we still sticking with it?
I don't give a shit. I mean, I'm all ears for everything, but
Well, I think after this episode, the people are probably gonna fucking be like, yeah,
yeah, super questionable.
stick with Cunty because Cunty McGee has got it down pat.
I'm not Cunty McGee. The AI on my Snapchat is Cunt Face McGee.
Cunt face McGee.
Yeah.
No, I'm referring to you because your quick wittiness is unbeatable, unmatched.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I feel like me and my siblings just grew up that way. Because if you get us all in a room, it's just like a fucking doghouse of 7 of us going back and forth.
Yeah.
Well, there's 8 of us total, but me and 6 more other personalities similar to mine, all going back and forth very quickly with shit talk.
Yeah. See, that's called survival.
Yeah.
If there's fucking 80 of you in a
yeah,
room.
like you grew up. Well, that was growing up in the 90s. Like, I don't know
Nope.
what happened in Arizona where everybody just doesn't know how to fucking swim, so kids could die every fucking year. But the way that
Nobody-
I was raised was your
Nobody's
older
clear on
siblings.
that.
Your older siblings kicked you in a fucking pool and then held you under, and you decided real quick whether you wanted to live or die, or until somebody's parent came and like yanked you up by your fucking scalp.
I drove my big wheel into a fucking pool.
That's pretty solid. We didn't have a pool, so I never did anything like that. But we lived on the top of a hill though, so we used to just go up to we were pretty close to the top, probably like a good 60 feet, and there was an old school at the very top, so we'd go up into that parking lot and it would dip down right onto our road, so we'd just build up fucking speed and come flying down there.
God damn.
And then just slide sideways like as far down the hill and hope a car didn't come up.
You're like, well,
Or hope you maintained control so you didn't hit a parked car on either side of the road. Yeah. We used
seen
to
those
just find
videos.
ways to fuck ourselves up in new and exciting ways that I'm sure my parents really fucking hated.
This is definitely a part of the country where finding entertainment was completely different from probably the rest of the fucking country. It being so rural out here it makes it easy.
Yeah, it's way easier when it's rural.
Yeah, we have fucking parks in like every goddamn neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean, we had parks and stuff, so that was fine. But, like, we're also surrounded by fucking houses.
Yeah.
There's no, like... I mean, compared to out here, there's woods, but we didn't consider it woods. You had to, like, ride your bike somewhere to find woods.
Yeah, we don't have that.
Yeah. Well, I know you guys don't, but
Which
woods
is-
weren't far away. They just weren't directly where we lived.
Fucking super lame. I would have preferred that. I used to go ride my bike and go on dog walks with where the 101 is.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
that-
that makes sense.
So that's cool.
That sounds super fucking lame, though. Like, where I grew up, there would be, like, woodland trails. So you just, like, mob on your dirt or your mountain bike through the fucking woods and just hope and pray that you didn't hit a fucking rogue stump that would launch you end over end because you probably weren't riding a bike that was your size.
Probably
It was
not.
passed down,
Yeah.
or it was your older brother's old bike, and you finally had legs long enough that you could reach the pedal when it apexed at the bottom.
Yep.
So you were like, fuck it, I'm big enough to ride this shit until you hit a stump and fucking fly over the top of it.
Lose your fucking brain.
Yep.
I've actually done that a few times, but it was my fault for going off trail.
Well, it was dope because, like, my parents let us start riding. Like, we used to ride our bikes to school because that's like, the kind of town we grew up in. And it was like a 2-mile ride, nothing bad. But it was...
2 miles?
Yeah, that's super easy.
Yeah, my ride to school was half a mile.
Yeah. But it was downhill on the way there, most of the way, and then it was kind of plateaued. Riding back home at the end of the day was dog shit because you plateaued, and then it was uphill, plateaued. You had one brief moment of like 100 feet that was downhill the entire ride back. The rest of it was either plateau or uphill. And when we got home, because, and I still to this day cannot, I feel like somebody needs to get shot in the face for this, but like the one thing Somersworth, New Hampshire had going for it was the fact that there's a giant fucking hill in the middle of town. So do you know what the mascot for the public school was?
What's the town called?
Somersworth, New Hampshire.
Somersworth?
Yeah, Somersworth. It's got potential, but
So-
it's turned into kind of just like a fucking bunch of old people and a lot of drugs.
Which is wild because it sounds like a nice vacation spot.
It's not. It's kind of like when you
If
hear
unless
people
you want
talk.
meth.
Well, yeah. It's kind of like when you tell people to come to Phoenix, and then you're like, you should go check out Maryville.
Oh, people act like this is the greatest fucking historical spot on the planet. I'm like, don't go downtown. They're like, that's where everything is. I'm like, don't go there.
Yeah, you're not gonna like it.
Yeah,
I mean, there's some cool shit down there, but
You're
there's
gonna-
also a shit ton of fucking homeless people.
You're gonna find heroin and speakeasies. I think that's about what it boils.
Speakeasies are dope, so let's not fucking shy away from those.
No. That's the better part of it.
They're not cheap.
You just
too.
might end up with heroin.
I still haven't been there, but the bar that I want to go to the most, I just want to go because the name of the bar is the Killer Whale Sex Club.
I seriously want to check them all out.
The Killer Whale Sex Club.
There's-
Who wouldn't want to walk into that?
One of our mutual friends actually sent me pictures like last year. We'll talk about it more, but she knows where they're all at.
Yeah, I got some friends that know where they're at too.
Yeah, I
There's a
think-
couple.
We should one of these Saturdays, dude.
I'm down.
Just go fucking speakeasy hop.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna have to make sure we got some cash though, because they're not cheap, dude. It's like
Yeah,
$20+ a drink there.
Oh.
So we're gonna be having like a drink per speakeasy.
Yeah, and then we'll bounce.
And also some of them are like they're catered, not catered like food wise, but like you're catering to a higher clientele. So it's super expensive just to get in the door.
Really?
Like they have one, it's like a thing that they're doing in a couple big cities now where you walk inside and it looks like the inside of a train. And there's
That's
where
pretty dope.
where the windows are, they have giant TVs and shit like this that mimic like you're actually traveling in a train car.
Oh shit!
Like an old school train car. Yeah.
That's fucking dope.
They have another one I think that looks like the galley on the inside of like a pirate ship.
Huh?
Yeah. All cool concepts. It's just,
Expensive.
do you want to spend maybe $200+ to go have like a meal and like 3 drinks?
There's so many fucking places that are like probably like Old Town and like the Biltmore area and shit like that. There's so many fucking places that I would love to go check out because there's lots of characteristics of these places. I just don't have the fucking money for it.
Yeah, that's literally all it is. There's so many. I will give Phoenix that. There is so much shit to do in Phoenix.
So there's a lot of. But
It's
it all
just
costs
how
money.
much money you're willing to spend to go do said shit. Like when I had family here, we went to Medieval Times,
How expensive
and I
is
want to
that?
say for 5 of us, it was easily like $400.
Oh my
And I want to
Lord.
say that's food, tickets in, and I want to say we had each maybe 2 or 3 drinks, and it was easily $400+.
that hurts my soul.
Yeah, it was super fun. It was a cool experience and everything, but I don't know if it's worth $400 fucking dollars.
Right. There's like there's a few places out here that we kind of, I don't want to say frequent, but we dabble in more so than others. Like a couple places in Peoria and shit. And you know if you're going there, you're gonna dude, dinner and drinks is gonna end
Well,
up being
when I
like,
used to go to a bunch of comedy shows when they opened up the Copper Blues up north here,
yeah.
and my go-to would be I would go there, watch a comedy show, and then there is the Winding Pig.
Yeah.
So if you go to the Winding Pig up there, and if you walk through to where the bathrooms are, that hallway back there, you walk around the corner back there, there's a speakeasy in there. So I used to always go to comedy shows, and then I'd go over there because the drinks were fucking solid. But last time I went there, they got rid of the drink that I used to go there and fucking drink all the time.
You're like, there's no point.
And I was like, Well, the bigger issue there too is I'm sure they have other amazing, delicious drinks, but 3/4 of their custom cocktails are made with fucking gin, and I fucking hate gin. I don't want to get mouth fucked by a goddamn Christmas tree when I'm trying to enjoy booze.
Not a fan.
Kind of like why I don't drink IPAs. I don't want to get mouth fucked by a hops plant.
Yeah.
Because that's what it feels like.
It takes away everything.
Yeah, you're ruining alcohol for me, and I didn't think that was possible.
Your palate's fucked after an IPA.
Yeah.
Unless you're drinking more IPAs, then fuck
But I was like, how do you guys have like 60 different whiskeys, and you have 4 fucking whiskey cocktails, and you have 8 gins, and you have 35 different gin cocktails? Like, come the fuck on.
Does Ryan Reynolds know you're blowing him?
Yeah.
Jesus. That's cool.
But there are a lot of cool places here in Phoenix.
Dude, I'd definitely say if I was making the money I feel like I was supposed to be, then be doing a lot more of that kind of shit.
Oh, hell yeah. Easily.
You know, it'd be fun. It'd be fun to dabble in some of the cultures around here.
It is cool having like friends who are more well off, because I used to have a buddy that I'd go out with, and he'd be like, we're going here, and I'm like, I'm not fucking paying for that, and he'd be like, I'll buy, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Because he'd be like, let's go to Magnum's, and I'm like, the cigar bar? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then you walk in there and you're like, oh, every drink here is like $30+.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool. I mean, that's kind of cool, and
It's a
I do
cool
like that I can
experience.
smoke in here, but
Yeah.
other than that, I'm kind of just whatever.
I was actually thinking about that pretty recently, man. It's becoming a fucking real true blessing just to have there's a select few people in my life that are willing to fucking step in, you know. When you don't want to pay for shit like that, they're like, well, your company's fucking worth it, so you're coming with me.
Yeah, dude.
And I'm like, dude,
I got a
fucking so
really good
grateful.
friend who I feel like I don't appreciate enough, and I should do more for him. But he has done that so many times. He bought tickets to Tool. Both of those times Tool was in town, and I went to 2 Tool shows within like 5 months. Was because he bought tickets, and he was like, "You're coming."
Yeah.
That Metallica show that I went to, he hit me up that day. He's like, and I literally, I was like, "Who dropped out?" And he's like, my brother can't come. And I was like, all right, cool. Because I was like, I don't feel like you were. I was like, it was you and your sister going, so I didn't feel like I was the third option. I was the option for the third person to go. But I fucking love him to death.
Yeah.
And he helps me out all the fucking time.
Yeah, it's dope to have people like that in your fucking life, man. Speaking of which, randomly, we're talking about shows. Apparently, I'm going to Blake Shelton.
That sounds depressing as fuck.
It's for free, so.
Yeah, I mean, I would rather go
Today's the 15th.
bury razor blades in my ear with a fucking hammer, but, you know, you do you. To each their own.
It's going to be a good time.
Let me go hear about some dude whine about his fucking car and job and life like he's ever worked a day in his life. Isn't he married to Gwen Stefani, too?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he can go fuck himself.
Yeah, for sure.
That was like high school crush for sure. Gwen Stefani, back in the No Doubt days, early 90s, where she was just rocking like Jinko jeans and fucking
And a
wife
fucking-
beaters
and a
a
short
wife
top.
Yeah, wife beater.
Yeah.
Just out there killing it.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That was the biggest shocker to me when I found out that she was fucking marrying him. I was like,
I mean, good for her.
yeah, if that's what you're into, I fucking
Clearly
guess.
they're happy, but I'm never gonna like him. I already hate country music, so
Yeah, I know.
it's not a super hard sell to dislike somebody. And I'm not saying they're all bad. There are some good country songs out there. I just predominantly hate most of them.
Most country music.
I'm just waiting till the day where self-driving trucks become a thing, and then there's a country song about a truck who stole his wife and dog. Instead of
That's
instead of the wife taking the truck and the dog, the truck's taking the wife and the dog.
I might steal that idea. We might have to pull that out because I need that idea.
It's out there. It's gonna happen. It's not gonna be a real country song because it's country.
That's why I want it.
Yeah. But I also, what self-respecting man would say that his self-driving truck took his wife and dog?
It's
'Cause-
headed there.
Yeah, so
Tesla's on it.
Yeah. Tesla's out there getting shit done for the country music fans.
They're fucking moving ass to get this song out.
Like country fans don't have enough to bitch about. Let's add some more shit.
I love
Can't believe this happened in my life. You did it, dumbass.
it.
Tell me more about how your IQ is not stunted.
Fuck. Oh,
I mean, I love you guys to death, but yeah, country fans, they're rough.
I've become.
It's like,
I dialed it back.
I feel like country fans are the group of bullies from Joe Dirt that rock behind Kid Rock.
Oh, don't fucking.
Yeah,
us
you
to
know
that.
you know them right too. That's like
That's
90% of the
no.
motherfuckers you meet.
There's a difference between being a redneck and a hick.
Not a big difference. That's like saying there's a difference between a Q-tip and a cotton ball.
I disagree. There's a fat line to be
Yeah,
drawn.
one of them's used for something else. Made out of the same shit, though.
Yeah, no, there's a big functional difference.
Yeah, okay.
He's like, sure. I feel like
Tell yourself whatever you need to.
I feel like my. I was thinking about this yesterday, actually. There was a long time where I was listening to like country music, old, new, everything, and I feel like with my perspective and the way life's gone, I've transitioned away from that because I've been a lot less happy.
Yeah, no shit. It's just why. Like, if I want to get depressed, bro, I'll go listen to the shit I grew up with, which is just emo music.
Yeah,
Yeah, super easy to be depressed.
I'm like I've
but also, some of that shit doesn't make me depressed anymore because I've been listening to it for 20 fucking years.
I fell back into metalcore like it was my fucking job.
Yeah, it's depressing, but it's upbeat.
It's depressing, but it's strangely motivational.
Exactly.
Yeah, it fucking puts me in a place I need to be in.
It gets you into the zone.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I was
won't disagree
depressed,
with
and
that.
now I'm just super amped up and want to go into a fucking mosh pit.
Right. Yeah.
And that sounds way better than a bunch of fucking retards line dancing in the middle of a fucking field somewhere, pretending they're having a great time while drinking fucking PBRs and Bud Lights.
One of these days, I'm gonna take you to one of the bonfires we go to.
You say this like I didn't grow up somewhere where we had bonfires, but the bonfires I went to,
I
we were
know.
playing like Tupac
But you
and rocking out to a fucking keg.
you got to see the young retards that go out there, the hicks that we go out there with.
Do I have to?
Yeah, because I'll throw a couch on the fire. No exaggeration. I'll throw a couch on the fire, and these guys, 4 of them,
I
will
can
sit
jump
on
it.
They'll sit on
Oh,
it.
yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Or you'll put a pallet on it, and somebody has to go stand on it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. There's no question about it. Somebody's got to be the cool
I can't
kid.
remember where I heard it, but somebody was talking about the general idiocy of America and the world in general, and that we should really just take all of the warning labels off everything and just let nature take its course.
Yeah, 100%.
Because otherwise, we're gonna have grown-ups that are just as retarded as fucking 12-year-olds.
I don't know why there's got to be a warning label on hand dryers that say external use only.
I mean, you do know why. Also, what child in the 90s didn't shove their finger up there and realize that there's a fucking heater in there
Right.
that just fries the fuck out of you? Back in the day, you learned the hard way.
Yep. Yeah,
Hey, guess what? Pans are hot. Don't put your hand in there.
I was
Don't
just-
put your hand in there.
You know how many-
Guess what? You put your fucking hand in there. You're gonna know why. You know what you're not gonna ever do again? Put your
You're-
fucking hand in there.
You're only going to touch the stove once, in theory.
Yeah, I forced my daughter to do shit like that, where she's like, no, I know it's hot. And I'm like, yeah, I need you to really know because you keep walking around the fucking open oven like you're at a dance parade or something. And I need you to understand that if you trip and fall into this thing, you're going to fucking really hurt.
There's been so many times where I've told the kids and my son and just everybody that's playing, you can, but it's going to suck.
Yeah, feel free.
Yeah, go ahead, but I'm letting you know now you're going to fucking cry.
Yeah. See, my daughter's like so opposite, where she'll be like, that looks like at some point I'm gonna get hurt, so I'm good. And I'm like, you should still go experience things, but like, fuck,
Yeah,
come
yeah,
on.
yeah. I think you should maybe try it.
Or and I'm sure you've seen me with her. There was one time Alex came to pick us up, and she's walking out to the truck, and she just fucking biffed it, ate hard, like ripped her pants open, ripped her whole knee open, and everything. She stands up and she starts crying. And I looked at her and I was like, does crying make that feel better? Mm-hmm. She was like, no, not at all. And I'm like, then what the fuck are you doing? I was like, I understand it hurts. Feel the pain. We don't need to be sobbing about it like you just watched somebody kill a puppy. And especially not for 20 fucking minutes.
That's fair.
Get
That's
your 2
fair.
minutes in.
Yeah.
Understand what happened. Move the fuck along.
That's the first time I've heard somebody reference to a child crying like it's an option.
It is an option every fucking time. How many times do you get hit and you're just like, fuck, and then you keep going?
I mean, yeah, but that's different.
It's not. It's just a response. You get used to just dealing with pain.
Huh.
It's a mental thing. You can either sit there and fucking bawl your eyes out like half the retards you see on TV now, but what's the fucking point?
I mean, you're not wrong. If there's one thing my dad taught me, there's no sense in bitching about stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you can bitch about it all day, but it's not going to change anything.
It's not going to change shit.
Yeah. I mean, I know it hurts. Does crying make it feel better? No. So get your 2 minutes out and then move along.
Fair enough.
And guess what? If you find something real fun for them to do about a minute later,
Oh, it's gone.
it's gone.
Yeah.
So, didn't need to be there anyways.
Yep. Fair fucking enough, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I should be modeled for anything when it comes to parenting, but
I say the same thing
I
about
do
me.
also feel like my daughter's pretty fucking decently in a good mental state to deal with shit.
Well, the only thing that sucks, and I don't really say it as often, I don't probably say it to my kid because other circumstances, but I'm not here to be your fucking friend.
Oh, I literally had that argument with my daughter earlier because
Yeah.
she was like, "We're not friends," and I was like, "I'm your fucking parent."
Yeah, I'm here to make sure you can survive as a fucking adult.
Yeah. I tell people constantly, they're like, "You're mean to her," and I'm like, "I'm not mean to her. I just need her to be mentally tough.
I mean,
I need her to be able to I need her to be able to survive in a world where I'm not here because that's the goal.
especially with
Like
the
no
way
matter
this
what
fucking
happens,
world's
like
going.
that, yeah, especially with the shit that happens in this fucking world.
Fuck.
I need her to be able to survive if I'm not here because I'm not always going to be here. So
Right.
she knows I love her. We constantly have these battle offs anytime I leave the house and she's in bed and she'll be like, "I love you," and then it'll just go back and forth. And she'll be like, "I love you more," and I'm like, "No, you don't." She's like, "Yes, I do." And we'll just do like a back and forth for like 3 or 4 minutes. Like, and there's only been a few times where she's like got me in my feels, where she just like walks up and hugs me and she's like, "I really love you," and I'm like, "All right, well, no need to do that to me."
Yeah,
Rude.
hey, I didn't want to tear up.
Yeah,
right
we're
now.
walking around in public right now. Thanks for that. Right in the fucking feels.
We
How dare you?
are currently at the grocery store. I don't need to be crying for no reason.
Yeah. Listen, we don't need to have this John Mayer moment.
It's ironic that you bring that up. There hasn't been a lot that's made me emotional over the last 5 years, you know. But the one thing that has is my fucking son.
Yeah, kids will do that to you, dude.
I had to have a chat with him the other day, just about stuff in life and the way
yeah, I
things
feel like
are
you were
going.
telling me about that.
Yeah. And
They're not
fucking-
dumb.
fucking,
They're really smart.
I'm ugly crying.
Yeah.
And he stands up and he's like,
Just gives you a hug.
dude,
yeah.
I'm like, oh, you little fucker, come here.
You son of a bitch.
You're fucking being way
I'm
smarter.
already here.
You're being way smarter than you need to be right now. And I'm like, I fucking love it. So,
Yeah, no, I get that.
yeah. I mean, if there's one thing that's going to break you down, it's got to be appropriate that it's going to be your child,
Yeah.
you know?
I mean, it is what it is. It's
Yeah.
always going to be your kid because
Right.
it's somebody you love unconditionally no matter what.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. But your take on parenting is, I mean, it's rough, but I mean, you don't want to raise somebody who's not going to be able to survive.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard enough to get her to do things that she already hates, but I'm like, we need to get you into like some sort of fighting training. Because no offense, but you're going to need it at some point in your life. Everybody should be doing it. Everybody should have at least a little bit.
I agree.
And like, I always laugh because whenever we watch shit at the bar where shit pops off, people are always like, "God, I want to watch you lose it one time." And I'm like, why? Why is that something you want to see? Like, I don't like doing that. It's in the way that I view it is like, if I get to that point, I'm just letting go of every bit of logic or intelligence that I have and deciding to go with, I need to brutally beat somebody, which
Dude.
I think is stupid. But also, I grew up with fucking 7 brothers or 6 brothers.
Right.
And we used to beat the shit out of each other
Well,
all the fucking time. And
and-
then we all became teenagers, and we were like, oh, you know what's way more fun? Mentally fucking with people. So that's when we started doing that. And then we just stopped having to hit each other. We still would occasionally, but you didn't have to.
Well, the other end of that, the consequences far outweigh the immediate satisfaction.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would I want to deal with the consequences of what I'm about to do to you?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to go. If the cops show up, if you fucking go to the hospital,
Yep.
the shit just goes south from there. I don't want to dick with that.
Exactly. And like, it's just not, it's almost never worth it. Like,
It's never fucking worth it.
what did you prove that you could beat up a
Right.
drunk person?
You're
That's
a-
not fucking hard, dude.
You're a bigger guy than me.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's retarded.
Yeah. No. I can't stand that.
Well, and
shit.
I'm like, the other thing is people are like, I just want to see you get to that point, and I'm like, I don't.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan.
Well, that and my other big part of that is that, like, I'm a pretty calm dude
Yeah,
in general. Like, I can sit here and whip shit at you all day, like fucking talking shit. But
right.
I'm generally a pretty calm dude. I'm like, do you know how much it would take to get somebody to actually make me want to fight them? A lot. And at that point, yeah, if I do get to that point and cross that threshold, like, they deserve whatever the fuck happens, because
Yep.
I don't like getting there. And if you push me to that point, shit's gonna happen. Might not be great for me, might not be good for them. I don't fucking know, because you never know until you're in it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd just rather avoid it altogether, because it's fucking pointless. It literally does nothing.
If you can push somebody in that state of mind to fucking lose control, because that's essentially what you're asking for,
Yeah.
then you do deserve a certain amount of shit coming your way.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get that aspect of it, but I would
no.
literally just hate myself afterwards
Yeah.
for letting
Yeah,
somebody, because at that point, you're letting somebody else control your own fucking emotional intelligence.
Yeah. The next day, you're gonna feel like you let somebody get the better of you.
Mm-hmm.
And believe me, I'm 100% on the same front that you are, because if somebody fucking ever pushed me to that point,
Yeah.
that whatever happens is gonna feel like shit. The next day, I'm gonna be beaten down fucking mentally because somebody let me get to that shit. It's just not,
Yeah.
none of it. Yeah. I'm not gonna have control of whatever the fuck I do to you either. That's
Yeah,
another thing.
I mean-
you're a little bit more well versed in that because you're a fucking Marine.
Doesn't mean anything. It just means I was dumb enough to join the Marine Corps.
You don't think that you're a little bit more mentally prepared for that kind of situation?
Not really. Like, I mean, the Marine Corps doesn't really teach you how to fight. It teaches you how to get your ass kicked.
No, I know, but like
But in a group.
mentally, you're not more
Like, ready to... No, 'cause-
strategized.
I mean, maybe a little bit, but that was also over a decade ago. I've been
Oh.
out for more than a decade.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I got out in 2011.
So you think it maybe is not quite relevant?
Not really. What am I going to do? Hammer fist somebody? In a fucking bar fight and look like a retard? I'm just going to bash them on the top of their fucking skull with my hammer fist?
I don't.
That's the dumbest fucking move, by the way. If you ever use the bottom of your fist to hit the top of somebody's head, you're a fucking retard.
I just assumed, and that's my first fucking problem right there. Glad I brought that up to my attention.
Yeah, people are like, "Oh, you were in the Marine Corps. Or the Marine Corps. You probably know how to beat the fuck out of people." And I'm like, not really. Like, I grew up with 6 brothers. That's why I've been in fights. I never really got into a lot of fights in the Marine Corps.
It's not necessarily that I would believe that you were
Not to say we didn't try.
that you were trained specifically to fight or to.
Just like the
To
mental
kill?
preparedness for it, though.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that should be a part of it.
Yeah. I mean, you have to accept going into a situation that you might get your fucking ass kicked.
Mm.
So that's another part.
Mm-hmm.
With the way that the world is now, you don't know who the fuck's training and what. Everybody's doing some shit.
Every motherfucker's doing
Yeah,
some
so
shit.
you walk up to a guy who looks smaller than you're like, oh yeah, I got this all day. Some of the hardest motherfuckers you've ever seen in a fight are the wiry little bastards who you don't expect shit from.
And
You see them drop, dude. When I was working as a bouncer, I was at the bar one night and I was by the front door, which is on the main level of the bar, but if you went down the back steps, we had a back patio that was pretty decently sized. And there were some football players from the college the next town over that were there drinking all day, and they left one of their, I would assume, linemen there. Because this dude's like 6'6", 300 plus pounds, big boy. And he's just drunk.
Excuse me.
He's just drunk as fuck.
Yeah.
And he wasn't being like rude or anything, but he was drunk and he was getting kind of handsy, like trying to hug everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And he walked over to this group of dudes with their girlfriends, and the girls were like, that guy's being really fucking annoying. So the dudes started talking shit to him. I went down there, got everything separated, and I was like, all right, dude, you got to go. Got him off the patio, and I'm walking him down the sidewalk that's next to our patio over towards the steps to go up to the main road. And this dude on the patio started talking fucking shit again. And I was like, hey, dude, if you don't want to shut the fuck up, because this dude turned around and started walking back to the patio, and I fucking dropped my body weight, and I'm putting all of my weight into his stomach.
Yeah.
He was walking me through the gravel like I wasn't there.
Oh my god.
And I was like, all right, well, that's not cool. I was like, dude, if you want to talk shit, you guys can come out here and deal with shit because you're not on our property, and I don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And the dude did. Walked out there, and he was maybe 5'6", tiny guy.
Little guy, yeah.
You know, kind of built. He dropped that big motherfucker. Dropped him instantly. And then, like, he went to hit him a few more times, and I was like, he's already down. None of that.
Yeah.
But I was like, all right, well, yeah, there's that lesson for people that didn't know. He just 1-2 real quick.
Dude,
fucking to the ground.
Some of the most elite fighters are,
Tiny as fuck.
dude, like 100.
Like we were looking at that with that Sean O'Malley fight.
Yeah, like 150, 180 pounds. And that's even, I'm speaking.
That's higher than most. It's
I'm
normally
being
like
generous,
130 to 160.
And some
like
of these guys,
somewhere between 5'2" and 5'9".
some of these fucking guys don't not train 7 days a week, dude.
Yeah, all day. That's
Like,
all they do.
Their discipline level is
Through the roof.
fucking through the roof.
Yeah.
And you don't know. You don't fucking know what that looks like.
Yeah, and you also don't know who the random jackass at the fucking bar is.
You just don't know. So, well, that and we're in fucking Arizona, and I'm going to bring it up, but you don't know what kind of dickhead has a gun out here.
Yeah, I mean, that was so.
That
New
that is
Hampshire also has
untrained.
New Hampshire also has really really loose gun laws because it's the live free or die state. But dude, I'm telling you, I've been to house parties where you would see two motherfuckers in a fight that both had pistols, but nobody's shooting anybody because it's
Yeah.
a felony.
Yeah.
But you will see a motherfucker get pistol whipped. They'll pull that shit out and pistol whip the fuck out of you. Be all fucking hanging jaw and shit. But nobody's shooting guns because it's a felony.
Well, we're in Arizona, and everybody shoots,
Yeah, everybody
shoots
out
each
here's
other.
fuck. Well, no offense. There's a reason for, top 5 educational 48th or 49th on the educational standard. So yeah, I've never felt more unsafe than I was at Sportsman's Warehouse one time, and this late teen walked in with like fucking dermals in and shit, in sweatpants and a wife beater, and walked up to the counter and goes, "What's the cheapest gun you have?" And the guy was like, what are you looking for? What for? And he was like, pistol, just cheapest, like 22, whatever. And the guy was like, this one right here. And he's like, cool, I'll be back in a couple hours. And I'm like, that's the last motherfucker I want to own a gun.
Right.
Because he's clearly not doing anything good with it.
This doesn't feel like
It's not
target
for
practice.
defense. It doesn't seem like it's a defensive move. It seems like an offensive move because you look like you'd get your ass kicked.
I feel it's terrifying.
Yeah.
You know how many times I've been in fucking QT and walked up on some guy in like gym shorts or sweatpants or something like that, and there's just an extended mag hanging out of his fucking pocket.
Yeah.
I'm like,
There's no fucking not even it's just
I'm like, what are you
in your pocket, bro.
What are you doing? What's the game plan here?
How tight is that fucking string holding your pants up there,
No
bud?
shit,
Jesus
right?
Christ.
You know those things are hanging on for
Yeah.
fucking dear life.
What else you got stuffed in there? Fuck. Is your penis pump in the other pocket?
Yeah. Fuck, man. There was something else I was gonna bring up too, and I can't fucking remember now.
It's the upside of just continuously talking and
I
drinking.
don't. We were talking about the smallest of the most elite, and just not knowing
Oh, little guys? Yeah,
Just-
little wiry fucks.
not knowing who to fuck with, and they said, well, that's the thing is I just don't fuck with people. I don't want to fuck with people.
Well, and dude, people are I will say this, people are shady out here, dude. I had a buddy that I was really, really good friends with that I went to the bar with for years. And he lost an eye in a fight at his house with like his girl's ex or some shit showed up. And he called him out and was like, we can handle this shit outside. Went outside and the dude fucking went to punch him and gouged his thumb into his eye. Yeah. Scraped half his fucking eyeball. And now he has a glass eye.
that sucks.
Yeah, great fucking dude. And he wasn't doing anything wrong. The other guy was in the wrong, but the other guy was also a piece of shit.
Right.
But yeah, that's the other downfall of it. Like, I have kids, dude, or I have a kid.
Yeah.
And yeah, none of that will ever be worth that. It's kind of like when I was in the military, we were going through MCMAP, which is the Marine Corps' martial arts program. And our instructor was like a black belt. So everybody was like, hey, can you show us how to do this? Can you show us how to do that? And it's all stuff that only the black belts learn how to do. But one of them was like disarming somebody with a gun. And he showed us how to do it. And then he came back up in front of the class and he was like, I just want to be very, very clear on this. If any motherfucker on the street walks up to me holding a gun and asks me for my fucking wallet, I'm just going to give them my wallet, my cell phone, and everything else. Because he's like, what are the odds that motherfucker doesn't shoot me while I'm trying to take that gun from him? Do I think I could? Probably. But the chance of getting shot is astronomically high. So what's the fucking point? He's like, it's not worth my life. It's not worth my wallet. And it sure as fuck isn't worth my cell phone.
That's such a goddamn good fucking teaching point, dude.
Yeah, he's like, it's never going to be worth it. Just give them whatever the fuck they want and hope you don't get shot. That's the best fucking thing you can do in that scenario.
All that shit's replaceable.
Exactly.
Everything's replaceable.
Except for your life.
Right. That's fucking so important. It doesn't even take training for you to tell yourself in any kind of scenario to be reasonable for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Stop for literally 2 seconds and think about what's actually happening.
Or just mentally get to that point before you get into a fucking fight.
This guy is trying to steal my car, and I decided to pull a gun on him instead of just giving him my car, which out here is also illegal.
Yeah.
You don't get to defend property out here. Gray areas. We're not going to We're not going to get into that. But cars, not so much. So now you're going to jail for homicide because you decided to shoot the guy that was trying to steal your car that probably had full coverage on it.
Yeah.
You were going to make some money and get a new car, but instead you decided to
Instead
go to
you're
prison.
sitting in a jail cell.
So, use your fucking brain for 2 seconds, I think.
What? Brains? People have those?
Not anymore.
Seems unlikely here in Arizona.
Dude, I would jump the fuck out of my truck so quick if somebody was like, give me your truck. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
take it.
bouncing.
It's yours, bro.
Yeah.
Do you want the title signed over to you?
I actually was just going
Yeah.
to Del Taco. You can have the truck.
Yeah. Can you drop me at Del Taco on the way? That's fine. I'll get a lift home from there. Something.
You're gonna love this truck.
Yeah. Good luck getting it into third. I can't. I
was
do
talking-
sometimes. I just ram it in there.
I was talking about Cupcake, but that works.
I always thought you were talking about that fucking one we've
Nobody's
been
gonna
riding
steal
around.
that piece of shit.
You never know, bro.
You know
Good
what?
luck getting into the third. It's a stick shift. It's gonna grind. That's completely normal. Just run it.
It's normal. It's normal.
Yeah.
Just push harder.
You got this. I believe in you, bro.
Fucking rust bucket. God damn. Somebody would steal that though.
Yeah, out here, of course.
You're not wrong,
It
yeah.
runs.
Yeah. No, I mean that's the one thing it does do is it runs.
Yeah, that's all they need it to do.
That one doesn't have full coverage, so please don't steal it. Cupcake does.
What's the address here?
Yeah.
Just advertise to come and rob you.
If you just email me, I'll send you a pin drop. Oh.
I'll send you a picture of the truck, and then you
Yeah.
can decide whether it's worth potentially wanting to steal.
We'll let you make the choice.
Yeah. As things in Arizona go.
Seriously. Everybody has a fucking choice out here.
Everybody thinks they're really, really tough out here, which is hilarious.
It's fucking kind of not funny anymore, man.
I mean, it's funny for me because I'm never involved. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
The occasional time I end up at like an after party or something and I piss somebody off because I said something, I'll just fucking leave. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it doesn't mean shit.
It means absolutely nothing, dude. Be the tough guy. Be the bigger person. Be whoever you think you are in your brain. I don't fucking care. Because first off, I'd have to give a fuck about your opinion. And I probably don't. So
Right.
why the fuck do I care what you think? That guy called me a bitch. Okay.
Ooh.
Why do you give a shit?
Haven't heard that one before.
Yeah, nobody's ever called me a bitch before. Jesus Christ.
Right. Yeah.
That's like, I always laugh when you like talk about military shit and you have those motherfuckers that are like, I couldn't do it, dude. I'd probably hit my drill instructor. And I'm like, would you? I don't think you would. I think you'd try to, and then you'd get fucking wrecked. And then they would just kick you out.
I was just gonna
Yeah.
ask, like, what's the next step after that? Yeah.
You get wrecked, bro. I've definitely seen a motherfucker get picked up by his throat and thrown through a fucking wall locker in boot camp. And you're just like, all right, well, that happened. Maybe don't be so lippy.
Also, I think my first question for somebody who says something like, I would hit my drill instructor would be, have you fucking seen one of them?
Yeah. Seriously.
I don't know if
I watched
you've
those
seen
motherfuckers
one.
do a pull-up competition. One of those motherfuckers did 25 with one arm. The other one did 60 pull-ups, and I'm like, all right, that's just what the fuck's for. You
You're
could have stopped at 40.
You're showing off now, dickhead.
Yeah, we get it. you're a small guy, but you can lift yourself up a lot.
They are brick shit houses.
They are, dude.
And I've never actually met one in person. This is all fucking speculation.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. Or like when I was at MMI, so in one of my classes, our instructor was so most of the class that I was in, the core group of dudes I was in with, was a lot of military guys, and it was predominantly Army. There was 3 of us Marines. There was a couple Navy guys and a couple Air Force guys, but it was mostly Army. So we're at the end of our rotation for class. We all finished our testing and everything, and we just got like a couple hours to dick off. But our instructor was a Marine too. And he pulled up this YouTube video of Marine Corps boot camp versus Army boot camp.
Oh, shit.
And holy fuck, is it hilarious. But it starts out with Army. And all these Army guys are getting fucking amped up, and they're like, fuck yeah. And we're like, why is he just talking to them? They're like, what? And I'm like, they just talk to you? That's fucking weird. I'm like, I'm so used to drill instructors having a crazy ass voice because they scream constantly that their vocal cords are just fucked the entire time they're in that position.
Right.
Until you get like higher up where you're like the drill hat or the senior, and then you don't have to yell as much. You can talk all day. But their kill hat and whoever, if you have a 4th one, is always a secondary to the kill hat, is just screaming constantly. Like they put the fear of God into you as an adult. And yeah, it blows my mind. So it goes through the whole Army one. They're all gung-ho. Everybody's happy. It starts cutting to the Marine Corps one, and you just see their faces just drop. And they're all like, fuck that. My buddy's looking at the screen, getting all amped up, and he's like, I'd go back right fucking now. And I'm like, yeah, I would too, because now I know what it is. Like, once you've been through it, you know what it is. And it's not that, like, it's more threatening because you don't know what it is when you get there. But they're just watching it, and they're like, fuck no. And I'm like, what, you guys wouldn't go through that? And they're like, fuck no. And I'm like, and that's why you're in the Army, pussy. Bunch of bitches.
Bunch of bitches.
There was one time we were going on leave from Iraq. It was me and my Lance Corporal. And we got flown into Kuwait, because that's where you have to fly out of. And the whole flight there was with a bunch of Army dudes. And then we get there, and they told us when we left the base, they were like, put on your civvies, because you're going to be going to the regular airports. We were like, all right, cool. So we're just standing in a smoke hut in the middle of Kuwait. It's me and him. We're both in like jeans and a t-shirt, and it's just like a fucking smoke hut full of Army dudes. And this one dude had been talking shit the entire flight back. And finally he was like, you fucking Marines think you're all tougher than everybody. And I was like, not really. We just, like, we fight each other so we don't get in trouble for fighting you guys. That's why we always beat the shit out of each other. And he was like, so what, you guys think you could take us right now? And I was like, how many are you? 16 of you? 2 of us? I was like, you might need a couple more guys. And they're like, are you fucking kidding me? And I'm like, no, you're talking out of your ass, so I'm just going to be an asshole back to you, dude. Like, clearly we're not trying to fight you right now.
Right.
I was like, but you're literally just trying to start a fight to start a fight. I was like, also, why are you trying to start a fight with 16 other dudes when there's 2 of us? How does that make you look better?
Right. If you were to take 2 of us...
Yeah, if you want to bring 2 of yours and us 2, I think we'll be okay.
Dumb.
Yeah, is what it is.
Man, I wish... It's one of the things I almost kind of wish I would have did when I was younger, was tried the mill. Oh, it was kind of a fucking rough patch. For one, I didn't know how much your grades and all that bullshit and all your schoolwork and everything went into actually going into the
Doesn't
military.
matter now.
Well, now it probably fucking does.
No, have you not heard any of this shit? I think it started with the Navy. Dropped all of their fucking shit. So, like, you don't have to have a high school diploma or a GED. And I think you only have to have, like, a 20 on the ASVAB. Which, it's really hard to get a 20. Like, I think you put your name down and get, like, 3 out of 80-plus questions right, and you can get a 20. Like, they made it so ridiculously easy to get in now because everybody except for the Marine Corps right now, I think, is so far off of their recruiting numbers that they're willing to do anything.
Well, let me tell you how ill-informed I was, and it's to an embarrassing level. I had one of my uncles was a Marine in Nam, and one of them was a mechanic in the Air Force.
Okay.
So I was like, dope. I would fucking... Well, I'm a mechanic, so I was like, I want to be... I think he was a tank and a jet mechanic.
Okay.
Cool as fuck. So obviously, where do you think the first stop was?
Don't know.
Air Force.
Because they have a lot of tanks.
I just wanted to follow that.
I mean, everybody has mechanics.
Right.
Because we all have,
Nobody told me, literally nobody told me how difficult it was going to be.
Oh, yeah.
Book
to be
smart
like,
wise?
But to be like an air wing mechanic,
Just to
you spend like 2 years in school before you even get to the fleet.
Just
because
to get to the Air Force.
I mean, I don't think that'd be that hard, but
My school life was trash.
I don't know, dude. I joined the Marine Corps, so.
I was not.
I mean, granted, I could have joined any branch.
Yeah.
Because we had one of the electives we had in high school was for ASVAB.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the first time I took the ASVAB, I was a junior in high school. And I think I scored a 96
Is that good?
out of 100.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty fucking good.
And then I think when I actually joined the Marine Corps, I had to take it again because it had been 2 years since I took it previously.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I got an 89. And they were like, yeah, you can do whatever the fuck you want. And I was like, cool, I'm going to do this. And that's not what I did. Unlike everybody else, the Marine Corps...
What was your job?
It was a complete bullshit job, but I worked as like a PC production control guy in a mechanic shop. So I got to get there early, go through all the fucking workload and everything, and then disseminate it to everybody.
No shit.
Yeah, and take care of all the record jackets and everything for all the equipment and shit that we had at our shop.
I would not have seen that coming.
Yeah, neither did I, because it's not what I signed up to do. But so when you join other branch, from what I've been told, I don't actually know because I didn't join another branch. But from what I've been told, when you join another branch, you can actually pick your job.
Mm.
In the Marine Corps,
That's what I hear.
You pick the job you want, but that job is in a block with like 12 other jobs. And after you get out of boot camp, they decide where you're going based on the needs of the Marine Corps. So I got out of boot camp. I signed up to do like legal stuff, like work as a legal clerk for lawyers, because I was debating getting into law afterwards.
That would have been appropriate for you.
That's just because I like to argue. But
You're a fucking lawyer.
Exactly. No, so I was supposed to go to school in Connecticut, which is a 5-hour drive back home. So I was like, dope. I'll get out of boot camp. I'll get out of
fucking perfect.
I'll get out of MCT. And I'll go to Connecticut, spend a couple months there, and then I can just drive home for holidays or whatever the fuck. And they're giving us all our orders and shit to leave MCT, and they're like, Meridian, Mississippi. And I was like, what the fuck is in Meridian, Mississippi? And they were like, this school. And I'm like, what is that for? And he goes, I don't fucking know. But have fun.
Good luck.
And I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, I only met one person in my entire military career who had actually signed up for the job we had. And that's because he was a prior enlisted guy who knew what that job was, and he didn't want to keep being a mechanic, so he'd moved over to that job.
Gotcha.
But other than that, every single person that I was in with that did my job had signed up to do something else.
That's crazy.
Also, I never actually worked a single day doing that job because I got fapped out to a different shop the first week I was there, and then I did that for my entire career. Not career, my entire enlistment. Because it wasn't really a career, it was 4 years.
I really wish that I was... See, nobody fucking taught me anything about any... Man, my high
Nobody
school...
taught me shit either.
Well, I know, but I didn't know that, like, there was...
The upside of the ASVAB is it doesn't matter what grades you got in high school because you have to take another test
Nobody
that
fucking
they
told
base
me
your military career off of.
what the ASVAB was.
It's the test they make you take when you go to sign up to
I
join.
took it in high school because they make us all take it.
Yeah.
But nobody told me what the fuck. My high school life was trash.
I mean, I was a giant cunt in high school, so I can't really talk shit.
Well, I
just hated school, and I didn't like...
They just kept telling me I was retarded.
Nobody told me that. Mine was...
Of course they didn't tell you that.
Mine was a lot of people just being like, we expect better of you. Or we know you're smarter than this. And I'm like, yeah, but I just don't fucking care. Like, at all. I don't want to be doing this.
I wish I would have had the chance. I would have tried military.
And it didn't help that I was like gung-ho for the fucking Marine Corps. And, you know, what convinced me... Originally, I was going to sign up for the Navy. Because I was looking at doing, like, diving or something like that.
Right.
But I read a book when I was like 15 called Making the Corps by Thomas Ricks. and he's a reporter that went and did he stayed at Parris Island and followed a platoon through boot camp, and then wrote about it, and that's the whole book. But he's very eloquent with how he describes the camaraderie, the brotherhood, and everything like that. And after reading that, I was like, it's not even a choice. There is no other option. To the point where my dad was in the Air Force and my mom was Army kid.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So I graduated high school 2 months after I turned 17. And I was like, hey, and I'd been talking about this since I was 15. I was in the Pool E program, this is happening. And I was like, yeah, I just need you guys to sign this paperwork. And my parents were like, not happening. And I was like, what do you mean? And they were like, well, we don't want you to end up blaming us for if you fucking hate it. And I was like, all right, I don't think that would happen, but okay, I get the logic of it.
Right.
And I literally just got a full-time job for a year, and on my 18th birthday, I was at the MEP station swearing in. And then I was gone to boot camp a month later.
Son of a bitch.
Yep, my mom was like, we really can't convince you to not do this. And I was like, not a fucking snowball. Snowball's hell and chance. Chance in hell. Yeah, that was backwards.
I followed it.
That's not a good thing. And also explains why you didn't make it to the military.
Right, no shit, right? Well, that explains your senior year right
Yep.
there. Well, on that note, I think we're going to close it out.
All right, what are we at here?
Huh?
So what are we at here?
51, almost 52.
I mean, we can keep bullshitting. I got nothing going on.
I got to pee.
Oh, all right. I needed another drink, but other than that, we could just pause it and revisit. Your choice. We can do this shit all night.
We can do another one, but there's a couple things I want to
tweak,
kind of, so to speak.
All right.
Traditionally, I ask all my guests if there's anything you want to plug.
No. Don't do drugs, kids. Remember DARE.
Oh, my Lord.
Dare to be better.
Somewhere I have one of those
Dare to do
fucking
more.
shirts.
Dare to do drugs.
I got pictures with that fucking big-ass dog lion. What mountain? What is it? I don't
It's
even
a
know.
lion.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I got pictures of him somewhere.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's a lion in a t-shirt.
And what they didn't tell you was that drugs help. No, I'm kidding.
They didn't tell you is drugs are fun, kids.
Yes.
Sometimes. Just depends on the drugs.
Stick to alcohol. Or weed.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and plug that. Stick to alcohol. That's never done anything bad to anybody.
Never. It's the only
Not
legal.
ever.
It's the only legal drug that kills you.
Depends. I guess if you live in, what is it, Portland now?
They fucking reversed it all.
I know they did.
Yeah. Smart move.
Weirdly.
Weirdly
Wow.
enough.
Who would have thought legalizing all drugs would
They-
be a terrible
they-
fucking decision?
They criminalized all the shit they decriminalized, including crack and fucking meth.
Yeah, that's
the
like
point.
every country throughout Europe between 2014 and 2018 that was like, there's a lot of immigrants, we should all open our borders. Wow, look at them now having the strictest border control policies out of all of the other countries in Europe. It's so weird.
On that conversation, whole different podcast.
Yep.
This was a small glimpse into hopefully
The larger picture of bullshit you're gonna have to deal with coming out of the two of us.
Yeah, literally, because we're gonna be working on another podcast.
Of questionable things you shouldn't talk about, or just bullshitting about bullshit.
But now you have a small glimpse into the mind of Mr. Seth Clark.
It's not great. It's pretty dark in here.
Somebody should turn on a fucking light. No. So.
No, I'm afraid of lights.
It's like, what?
It's because they're so bright and I'm so pale.
As always, like, follow, subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please.
Definitely email Sage, because I will not respond to anything.
Definitely email. Whatever platform you're listening on, shoot a comment. If it's Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube, please leave whatever comments you'd like.
Feel free to send a letter in the mail to your mother. She'll also get back to me.
And if you have any wants, desires, just to reach out, just to say hi, I don't mind. meversmeinfo@gmail.com. Don't hesitate. We love to hear from our fans. So, have a good night.
Fuck you, Phoenix.